Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. We're dealing with a topic on the term Moor, dealing with black people. We're going to get into the term Aswad, which also means black, and that's Aswad, and Adam, right? And the reason why I'm having this discussion is that, one, I said that I would, so I'm going to delve into that. Another reason is because we need to be comfortable with the terminology that is used to describe us as a people. That's very important. But one thing that we should all realize is that the devil, the deceiver, no matter what term you use to call yourselves, it's his job to turn it into a negative. That's his job. So we need a term that is most comfortable to us, so when he spins it and turns it into a negative, we won't get offended and we'll say, devil, you're just doing what you're supposed to do. You're on your job, and stay on your job. And matter of fact, we appreciate you for being on your job. Once we get to that level, that way we can focus on issues that matters. Now, English term, since we speak English, we'll say black. If we spoke Arabic, we'd say Aswad or Aramaic. If we speak in Spanish, we'd say negro. And so it just depends on the terminology and the language. But we want to get into the term Moor, right? This is coming from the origins and connotations of the word Moor, right? The term Moor is an important word used over and over again to classify Othello in Shakespeare's play, because he wanted to let the people know that Othello was black in Shakespeare's play, right? Moor was a general term Europeans used to label Muslims during the European Renaissance. Usually Muslims of darker skin color. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, the word originates from the Latin term Moris, the Roman name for people from Mauritania. That's Mauritania. Right. Now, we got to realize that when the Arabics spoke of the Romans and the Persians, they was talking about blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. So blonde-haired, blue-eyed people called black Muslims Moors, even though you do have Christian Moors, black was just the terminology used for Moors. Anybody that spoke the Afro-Asiatic language and looked that up, Moors. West Asia, North Africa, Turkey, back when it was black, they was called Moors, right? Okay. The Roman name for people from Mauritania, a part of North Africa, present-day Western Algeria, and northeastern Morocco. Europeans describe Moors as being swarthy. So anytime you see the term swart or swarthy in that name, or Schwarzenegger, they saying black. And tawny, Tawny, in regards to their skin color. Muslims who were not black were named white Moors. So they distinguished it. But why were they called white Moors? Because during the Crusades, it was the black Moors who taught the white Masons or you may say shriners, and gave them knowledge. Right? So they were deemed white Moors. There are stories of the black Saint Maurice. Now, Saint Maurice was one of the first popes, right? He was a pope. They called him Saint Maurice, but they ain't also Pope Maurice. He was revered. They loved Pope Maurice. But as time went on and they started doing their research and found out that Pope Maurice was black, then they started to try to say he was robbing and stealing from the people who were on their journeys and in the caravans. Man, a black Roman soldier. Okay, Saint Maurice, a black Roman soldier, originally from Africa, because at the time, Romans at that time, even though you had black Romans, because the Moors conquered all over. But when they was talking about the Persians and the Romans, it was usually blonde hair, blue eyes. A black Roman soldier originally from Africa and told by the Roman emperor of the time to quell a Christian uprising in Gaul. He disobeyed, unable to kill the Christians, and was martyred. Rashidi, specifically in English history, there is a tale of Sir Morian, a black knight who helped King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table. Rashidi. And it was actually talking about Saint Maurice, the black African. Okay, these stories show some of the beliefs and impressions that Europeans held about Moors during the Renaissance era. Because the Moors was skilled at fighting. They brought knowledge, they brought medicine, they paved roads, they taught in the Renaissance times the Europeans to take baths, brought soap, and basically cleaned them up and stood them up again after Moses went into the caves and stood them up the first time, right? Okay, that's that story, right? We can go on. Okay, one more I read. Yet there was not a total glorification of Moors at the time. Queen Elizabeth herself made proclamations against blacker Moors during the 1590s as warriors over poverty and place in society increased Elizabeth I. So although Othello is described as warlike and glorious, he also had a fair amount of prejudice to deal with, as many wanted him out of power or looked down on. See, this is the time when they start changing the narrative, when they started depicting Moors or blacks in the negative light, because there was so much high praise for the achievements that the Moors accomplished in white Europe during the Renaissance, that people was holding the Moors up to high regards. But Queen Elizabeth was like, we got to break that. We got to start anything dealing with black. We got to start changing the narrative, control the books, and we have to start making anything dealing with black people to be a negative, right? Now that's Moors, right? Now we finna get into Aswad, right? The term is Aswad, Aswad, right? Is also what they were sometimes calling jet black. When the Arabs gave specific description, said someone was black, they meant that he was jet black in color, and that's COLOUR, color. Similar how it would be used today when we give specific descriptions of people. When Arabs said that someone was from the blacks, it meant that he or she was brown or black and all of the shades of black. That's Aswad. From jet black to the lightest black, the term was Aswad. And we all know that Aramaic was older than any term, was older than English. So at first, secondly, last it was Moors, because we're going in reverse. We went from Moor, then from Moor is Aswad, right? And Aswad now was encompassing all shades of black people. Okay. The Arab used the term Aswad Shadid al-Udma was very Adam. The word green, the word Adlon, and even the word Asham, Asham, interchangeably to describe a very, very dark complexion, so dark that they often compared it to the night charcoal and even like the blackness of a crow. Equally as Sumra or Asmar and Shadid al-Sumra can also be used to describe someone with jet black skin complexion, right? So you had different terms in the Aramaic language, one of the oldest languages on the planet, to describe different shades of black people. Why? Because those were the first Arabs. Those were the first people on the planet. When the Creator created himself out of triple darkness, the only color that was there to clothe the spirit in flesh was triple darkness. Black or very black. Dark skin or very dark skin was the original first skin. And then as let there be light. No, I take that back. Was the original dark skin, but yet brown was there too. I just got to make that clarification. It wasn't just dark people. It was dark and brown at the same time. They say Aswad, and this means whoever is covered in blackness. They say black or Shadid al-Udma. That's our colors. Okay, so we got Aswad out the way, right? We dealing with the terms. Now from that, we have to go into Adam. Adam was another term for black, or a term that they use to describe black people. The term Adam is a word that most are oblivious to. Most only know that Adam is the father of mankind, and we talking about the first Adam. But they do not know that it is a term used for a specific color, and that's Colour, and that the color is a very dark color. It is also a very commonly used term in classical Arabic and one of the colors used to describe what the original Arabs looked like, right? Ibn Mansur al-Talibi said in his book, Faquita Luka Wasa, page 448, that the color Adam is blackness in humans. And we're referring to camels, it means white. Right. If its blackness is increased on Asmir, then it is Adam. Adam is above Asmir, towering it to the color black. Some say jet black, but black is black, black is black is black is black, right? And al-Udma in humans is a branch of blackness, an Adam-colored man and an Udma-colored woman. Oh, ancient languages. Abu Muhammad said the green is the black meaning of Udma. So when Arabic and they were saying green, that dark green, they were still talking about black people who had the aura of green around them. You know? Come on, man. Look. Check this out. Now, these are when they speaking. When they speaking on this, some of it is dealing with the Persians, the Romans. This is Ibn Atir al Jezri said in his book Jamia al Usul fi Adit al Rasul, chapter 2, page 452. And the black means the Arabs because the predominant color amongst them is utma, which is black. And utma is a color that is near to the color jet black. And akmar means a gem because the colors that are most predominantly against them are white and red, very white. Because back then, when they was calling a person red, they was saying white, right? And when they was fighting against the Persians and the Romans, they was calling them blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Now check out Majid al-Din Abi as-Sadat al-Mubarak ibn Muhammad ibn al-Atir said in his book Al-Nihafi Garab al-Hadith, chapter 1, page 32. The color Adam in humans is an intense Sumera brown. Sumera brown. The color Adam in humans is an intense Sumera brown, which meaning that we cover all shades from the darkest, as they say, jet black to the lightest black that they would say brown. So in terminology is used to describe us. That's why I do like the terminology that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave. The black man is the original man. So when we say original man, if you hear the term original man, you talking about us. You hear Aswad, talking about us. You hear Adam, talking about us. You hear Moor, talking about us. You hear black, talking about us. And whichever term we say, we can say, you know what, we're not going to say black, we're going to say Moor. Then it's the devil's job to go out and demean the term Moor. If we say, you know, we understand that Adam means black, it's the devil's job to go out and demean Adam now. If you say Aswad, it's his job. He gonna go in. Hell, we already said the black man is the original man, and they over there, Hitler and them was over there trying to find the origin of the right of the human race somewhere in the caves in Europe, man. No matter what we do, they will be on their job to discredit whatever we call ourselves. So it's asinine for us to fight amongst each other over what means the same thing. In the manner of which language you're speaking. Whether you're speaking English, you're speaking Arabic, you're speaking Spanish, or what. There's a term to describe our color. Not color, not color. We're talking about color, right? It says Adam, Adam, the color is that which has no whiteness and according to the way the people speak. So they say an Adam colored man to he that has no whiteness in him. El Adum, A-L Adum. That's your ancient Aramaic. Adam has no whiteness in him. And the original Arabs was black. And we did the show on how you got the mulatto or the race mixing with the original black and the Persians or the Romans. And the story, and there's also stories of the Romans coming to the Americas, the Romans and the Spaniards who conquered the natives, enslaved them. I mean, we dealing with a lot in history. Yeah, hey. Look, Adam is from Al Duma. Well, this is from Abu al Abbas Ahmed ibn Imar ibn Ibrahim al Qurtubi says in his book Al Mufhim, chapter 1, page 400. Al Adam is from Al Duma, and it is above as Sumra, but lighter than as Summa. And Al Utma lean towards the color black with some redness, hitting redness, obviously not the red that means pale white. Giving you when back then when you had the red Moors, as far as skin color, you had we had mulatto Moors, one drop black, all the way as I say to black, jet black, same family, and was seen. Meaning, in those times, there was no distinction or no difference among them. We got to research and find out when the distinctions above black began. Some say it was in slavery when Willie Lynch used the difference in skin color amongst black and figured a way to use that as a tool to divide and conquer. Okay, then he would take, say, white men. Oh my God. When the slave master, the white man, came and raped the black woman and had that child, right? He put his children, of course, even though he didn't claim them, but he put them above the children that he didn't sleep with, that wasn't his children. And I guess that carried on in today's time because it's still conversations on dark skin and light skin or whatever. And you turn on the news, right? And you look at all the racism. I mean, okay, I can give an example. Meghan Markle, mulatto. She been called nigger, been told to go back to Africa. A bunch of racism against her, and she light as can be. Police brutality cases. In the eyes of the devil, that one drop he do not say you part of him and would treat you as such. You can have a child with a black man, a white woman or a white man can have a child with a black woman or a black man. And around holiday time, they take that mixed baby to that predominantly all white family. And trust me, that child knows the difference. And when the parent's not around, that child knows how his other family members treats him and what they call him. So we don't have to play the games anymore. It is what it is. It's about understanding and dealing with truth of who you and who we are. Now, so there should be no more bickering on what we use to describe who we are, because as I stated, it doesn't matter what we come up with, they will find a way to use it as a negative connotation in their society as long as they control the media, radio, and the airways. And the books and what's being printed. You got to print your own books and do your own shows such as this one to put out facts and truth. And as I go, though, I like to thank High Frequency. I like to thank my partner, Brother Abdul, which was he was telling me that he's coming out with a product to help increase your immune system, especially during this time. And so later on next week, we'll give you where you can get that at, the title of it, and what it does. So be on the lookout for that. Shout out to A-Tone Productions. I always appreciate A-Tone Productions for being there to film and assist me in doing the video shows and the Everyday People, the movie part 2, which we're working on. Things are starting to roll as things are starting to open up, but we still practicing social distance. Big shout out to Caleb and his graduation caravan that took place. Shout out to Aisha graduating all class 2020. We'll have our interview coming up. You got to realize these children that's dealing with this today were the children of 9/11, and now they graduating during COVID. So we want to get into the mind of this next generation of our future. Verbal Pick Radio. We out. Oh, Sonera Smith. Appreciate your listenership. I mean, I feel your energy from where you at to keep us moving forward. And trust me, I appreciate every comment and everything that you say and do to help this show. Verbal Pick Radio, we out.